Hello and welcome to another episode of the Dumb and Dumbest podcast, the music industry podcast where everything is terrible and the house is on fire. We talked about Threatin yesterday with me, Matt Bacon, and my beautiful, wonderful, radiant, glorious, transcendent, balding co-host, Curtis Stewart.
That's right.
We talked about Threatin yesterday, and Curtis had some thoughts that it's sort of all a scheme.
Yeah, I think it's a scheme. I don't know who the schemer is, but I think there's some big players. I got my full-on Alex Jones / tinfoil hat theories going right now.
Anyway, so a couple minutes ago, although yesterday, because you'll be hearing it tomorrow.
And you'll be hearing it after the press statement from Jared Threatin, I might want to add.
Yes, we're probably going to do a whole separate episode tomorrow.
Yeah.
About this incident, right? Okay, so the guitarist just did an interview. That's like a tell-all exclusive.
Yeah.
So I have my thoughts. Curtis, I know you have a lot of strong opinions on this.
I do.
Do you want to start?
Before we do, did you also read the one with Dane this morning, the drummer, or whatever?
Yes, I did read the one. I watched the video with Dane, the drummer, who I added on Facebook and who messaged me today.
And Matt didn't invite him on the podcast.
I was going to, but I said, hey, what's up? And he said, hi, Matt, not too much. Things are pretty crazy right now. I'm just trying to get settled. How are things going with you?
And then said, I'm a metal injection journalist. Come on my podcast.
Oh, he hasn't even read my fucking shit. Okay, so back the fuck down, doer.
You got to pull a Threatin, dude. You're not even learning from this whole experience. Anyways, okay, so here's what I was going to say. So after reading the articles today, I am even more convinced that this is a huge publicity stunt. And even after seeing the tweet from the official Jared Threatin Twitter account this morning. So there is nothing that has made me even back down in the slightest from thinking that this is a PR stunt. I don't know who's involved. I don't know if Metal Sucks is involved in it. Someone tweeted at me that they thought that they were behind it. I don't know. Maybe they are, but Vince seems to be getting the most scoops, so maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I have no idea. But he's doing a great job with the whole story, even if he is or isn't. So follow his stuff, his developments on it either way. But yeah, I mean, just so many things just still don't add up in my head. I just don't see this as being anything more than an elaborate PR stunt. But anyways, that's my opening salvo on the things here.
Okay, so enlighten us.
Enlighten you on the things that don't make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so this morning, there was a tweet from the Jared Threatin account. Let me just pull up the tweet here. That was very, 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 very suspicious. Just give me a second to pull it up. I should have had myself a little bit better prepared before starting this podcast, but I'm not. But essentially what it did is it mentioned that there was going to be a big announcement tomorrow about his fake tour. And he used the word fake in his announcement, and he infoed like it was like Metal Sucks, Metal Injection, BBC, all these big places, and there was like an eye wink on there, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just trying to pull up the actual tweet itself so I can actually find it for you guys here. But of course I can't find. Oh, did it go back to private? I think his account went back to private.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, so this morning there was a tweet that said that. Oh no, here it is. It didn't go back to private. Jared threatened to make fake official statement tomorrow. Smiley face. At BBC News, at NME, and at New Music Express, at Alt Press, at Metal Sucks, at Metal Injection, at BBC News again. So whoever's doing his tweets is being a press whore. And he also no, never mind on that part. I thought I saw something I didn't. But anyway, so that right there to me is a dead giveaway that he's up to something. Right there. Why would you do that? Okay. And then the interviews with these two guys that apparently have now come out of the woodwork, both appeared on one appeared on Classic Rock magazine with Dane, and the other one appeared on Metal Sucks with the guitar. I keep forgetting what the guitarist's name is, but excuse me, guitarist, if you're listening to this, but I keep forgetting your name. But anyways, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. Like the one guy was talking about how he had all of his expenses paid. They were staying in fucking like cottages and stuff like that.
An apart. No, that's not what an apart hotel is. An apart hotel is like It's like a glorified hotel room. I've stayed in them before, like with my family when I was a kid.
But how much are they per night in Europe? I'm guessing they're minimum of a couple $100 a night, or $100 to a couple $100.
1 second, I'm looking at the one that it's like $130. It looks like
US dollars or pounds?
$130.
Okay, so still that's going to be like another few $1,000 right there.
No, absolutely, yeah. I'm not saying it's not penny.
No,
yes.
And then they paid for flights. Flights are going to be a few $1,000 because they're coming from the West Coast on top of that. So what is that, like $1,500 each, $2,000 each, unless they got like severe discounts?
Yeah.
So that's like another $12,000-$13,000 venue rental fees, which would have been at least $1,000 a night, I'm thinking, for each one. So that's
roughly
8 venues, so another 8,000, like plus merch. And I mean, according to the guitarist, these people, Jared doesn't work a day job, he doesn't think. And on top of that, they don't appear to have any money. Like, the fuck? Where'd the money come from? The magical money fairy? Do they just like somehow magically have like $100,000 credit limit while not having any jobs? Like, how does this work? Like, I want to get $100,000 credit limit and I have a job, right? So it does, like, this doesn't make any sense. None of it makes any sense. Where's the money coming from? And then apparently Jared was telling the guitarist, according to Metal Sucks, that there was a real label behind it and everything. Maybe Jared himself has been duped by another, as part of a rollout for like something. I don't know. Maybe it's a movie. Maybe it's a performance. I don't know, but it doesn't make any sense. There's nothing makes any sense with it.
Yeah. So
there's too many holes, like, for it not to be backed up by someone's money. Whose money is it?
Well,
I don't know.
Here's what I'd say.
Yeah.
Is there's a lot of people in LA who are very, like, LA is, you've been to LA, you get it. Like, it's a very, very fake place. Yeah. And, like, there is not a doubt in my mind that he could be just mooching off his rich parents.
Well, yeah, but that's a lot of, like, that's a lot of money to be mooching out the rich parents. Unless your parents are like the Kardashians or something like that, I'd be fucking shocked.
Okay. Anyway, so that's one thing I want to point out. The other thing I want to point out, again, I think people are fucking stupid. Like, okay, so here's a question for you. We both read so we read both the interviews. So do you think the ex-members were in on it?
I don't know at this point. I really don't know, because the whole thing, like I said, the thing that makes me suspicious. Okay, there's a couple more things just on the ex-member point. Like, the other thing that Vince mentions in his Metal Sucks thing is that the guitarist apparently only had like 50 views tops on his YouTube page, and he claims the management company reached out to him and asked him to be the guitarist on this European thing, and nobody knew anything about him, right?
Yeah. So
maybe he is on it. I don't know, because I mean, maybe he's a fake persona and he's another person. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Like,
no, yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Is like
these are all actors?
Well,
like,
but here's where it's weird to me. Is that if I was gonna hire some musicians for my dumb scam band,
yeah, they'd be unknown.
Well, they'd be unknown. Now, this guitar player was unknown, but I'd probably get someone from LA. Like, if I was based in LA.
Wait, they're not. I mean? They're from Las Vegas. That's the other weird.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what's weird to me is that the only reason I would get someone from another city is if I had such a bad reputation in my city, right? But no one is coming out and saying, like, oh, we know this Jared Threatin guy. Fuck him. You know what I mean? Like,
nobody.
Like, this would make more sense if a promoter or anyone from LA, like, if a single comment kind of came out and someone was like, yeah, like, I actually know this guy. And like the amount of lockdown on, like, that's sort of the issue with publicity stunts with fake personas in 2018, or like you saw that with Ghost. Like, there are people who like literally just knew Tobias from the fucking Swedish death metal scene. You know what I mean?
But that didn't really come out till about a year later. There were all sorts of guesses, but
but like, if you wanted to know, you could have known.
Yeah, true.
But like what I'm saying is that, like, with Ghost, like, I personally like I enjoy the fantasy of ghosts, so I was like, no, I'm not going to look into it. But like, people definitely knew, which is fine. Whatever. That's the closest example I can think of. You know, like whenever people do stunts that rely on anonymity, it's very, very hard to do that because people just know you and people want to be seen on the internet. Like,
Yeah.
like it shocks me that even like, I don't know, it's been covered in the fucking BBC. Like, why is it that he doesn't have a fucking neighbor who wants their 15 minutes of fame?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if my neighbor did this, like one of my neighbors is one of the 2 minutes to late night guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if there was some big controversy over 2 minutes to late night being insane, like I don't really know those guys, but like I definitely would probably say something.
Well, yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I've been involved in crazy stuff before with previous clients, to say the least, and I've definitely like been willing to say stuff. Like it's just very like that aspect is very strange to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's got all the apparency of having non-disclosure agreements signed up the wazoo with penalties of being sued up the ass, and you know, all your any money you get for the rest of your life being taken from you if you disclose anything. That's what it looks like to me. But you know, I mean, it just seems like a very like okay, like my part of my theory has evolved into something a little bit more, which is that it could be like a stunt for a movie, an upcoming movie, or a
I
TV
can get
show.
behind that. I can get behind that.
Yeah, like a movie or a TV, like, because I keep thinking Spinal Tap. I got to be honest. Like, I do. Like,
Yeah.
like, almost everything that keeps happening, I keep thinking Spinal Tap because it gets more and more fucking ridiculous as we go
Yeah.
along.
Well, like even, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but let me pull up this article.
Like, I keep trying to think what comedian Threatin looks like, and I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
But
So
anyways.
for me, like, just sort of the idea that like, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like the idea that like this 36-year-old guy would, like, 36 isn't like a kid, you know,
Not
like
at
the
all.
fact
Is that
that
how old he is?
the guitar player who
Oh,
gave the
guitar
interview to
player.
Metal
Yeah,
Sucks,
okay.
right? The fact that someone who's 36 would drive to LA, which is like a 3-4 hour drive from Vegas,
Yeah.
that he would do that all on his own dime, that he'd then go to Europe, like the fact that he'd be that oblivious whilst working, you know, like he works in like production basically.
Yeah, he
And
does like sound engineering and shit
yeah,
in
so
clubs in
like,
Vegas, I think.
you know, so like someone who works in production, sure, they're not like an industry person, you know, or someone who's like fully aware of all the things, but like you pick some shit up.
Yeah.
You know, unless you've been working in production for like 6 weeks. You know
But
what I
he
mean?
comes across as a veteran, according to the article. But
Yeah, exactly. He comes across as like, and like those production dudes, and like I can almost forgive, like, fuck it, it's a European tour, like, and those production dudes make super good money, you know, so I totally could get behind that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I definitely, like, I personally, as someone who makes, you know, as someone who's doing okay for himself, like if I got an opportunity to go tour with one of my boys playing guitar for 2 weeks, I'd probably go do that. You know what I mean? So like I appreciate that perspective, but like still the amount of I guess there's a certain degree of willful ignorance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
it's pushed to a point that is improbable. Does that make sense?
100%. And the other thing too is if these two are smart, and time will tell if they are, if this ends up indeed having been like the biggest scam of the century in metal, or any music industry, I guess. They're going to be, those two guys will be idiots, and three guys rather will be idiots if they don't try to parlay it into a book or a movie deal. Because if they're smart, they're set for life right now, the two of them.
Yeah.
Like if it's legit a scam is what I'm saying. Same thing with Jared Threatin. He's fucking set for life if he uses this to his advantage, and
Yeah.
he's legitimately pulled off the scam of the century, you know.
Yeah, like literally, one sec, I want to pull something up.
Like there's that guy from Catch Me If You Can. I mean, his whole life was turned into a movie and book and shit. And he made worth a fortune, out of my understanding, just from pulling like a similar scam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's Catch Me If You Can. Anyways.
One sec, I'm counting something. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So on the first, so before you get to the read more articles button on Metal
Yeah.
Sucks,
Yeah.
there's 6 Threatin articles.
Yeah.
Like, and this hasn't been like a dull week. Like, Joe Perry's in the fucking hospital.
Yeah.
Fucking Rockstar homes are melting.
Yeah.
The fucking fire. Like,
yeah, there's like 100 releases happening this week too.
Yeah, there was like the fucking Ollie Herbert thing that's going down that we'll probably talk about later if we find out more about it. Yeah, exactly. Like, and this is also just for the record for like independent bands. This is a perfect example of what we were talking about with like timing. Like this is like a week where you are fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked right now.
I'm sorry if you were gonna release on Friday because
I got 2 releases this Friday, which sucks for me. But yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sorry. Like this is out of Curtis's control. This is out of my like this is just.
Yep.
It happens. Like about once every year, once every couple of years, you get a story that dominates the narrative that comes that you can't prepare for.
Yep.
And yeah, so point being, you further think this is a scam. Now, one of the things I think is interesting is.
Ooh, that makes me realize, Matt, I should put my next press release titled "Not Threaten, but listen to this anyways."
You
I'm
should
gonna try that. I'm gonna see if I think I might do that.
It's interesting to me that we're now starting to see like video content stuff coming in about them. Like,
yeah, that's the other thing that made me suspicious is that now there's all this video content suddenly coming out when before there wasn't.
But I'm thinking more too about this idea of it being like a movie promotion.
Yeah.
Like, if tomorrow they announce Threatin, the movie, like I go to the movies since I moved to America. I have gone to the movies.
I came to America.
Exactly. I've gone to the movies once to an art house film with my mother, and otherwise only to see the Star Wars movies with my dad.
Oh, you're such a fucking geek.
And I didn't even go see Solo. Like, it's just like that's just something I do at Christmas with my dad because it's Christmas and we're drunk. Like I don't go to the movies, and I would go to the movies for this.
I would totally go for this.
Do you go to the movies?
I do more nowadays that I got kids
fair enough.
than I used to, but I mean, lately, I think in the last 3 months, I've probably seen more movies at the theater than I did in the last 20 years, to be honest.
Okay, fair enough.
They're kids' movies usually.
Yeah, but okay, point being, if you're, like if people like me who are not movie people are like I would be fucking way into the Threatin movie.
Yep.
So,
I think almost anybody would. It's like it could be like a doc, because I mean, especially if the woman, the parent wife or girlfriend, whatever she is filming all the stuff, like it sounds like. That's just like, to me, it's like one of those found footage type films or documentary type things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and this would be like a legendary God level promotional campaign.
Or it's a reality TV show, which is another thing that could also
be even better.
Yeah, like it's a tryout for like bands, and it ends up being like, I don't know, almost like that hidden camera comedy show that they used to have on TV. I can't remember what it's called.
Candid Camera?
Candid Camera, that's the one I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, I don't think Candid Camera has been around since I've been alive.
But you knew what I was talking about.
Yeah, but you're getting old, Curtis.
It was on when I was a kid. I remember it. You remember stuff that when you were a kid that isn't on TV either. So what? I'm getting old. I'm 41. Whatever. I almost forgot how old I was for a second.
Anyway, so
Aussie 70.
Aussie 70. This probably is some sort of other promotional campaign. I'm increasingly feeling that way. That being said, I'm very curious to see who involved is actually aware.
Yeah.
And how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Well, here's the other thing though too, is that you may never know, because if, for example, NME and BBC and Vince are all involved, and they got some sort of a non-disclosure agreement, they ain't gonna be fucking saying shit. They're gonna be pretending ignorance till the end of time. So, it could be that they're in on it, and then we'll never ever know because they're just not allowed to say anything about it, right? There's my other tinfoil hat conspiracy theory of the day.
Oh my god, that gets to a level I highly doubt they broke the British national media.
I don't know, man. I don't know. You never know. I mean, wasn't there someone that did a similar, like there was a few people. Well, they haven't done this level of a stunt, but yeah.
Anyway, only
point is the stunt has now, like when you hit the BBC and I think ABC was in on it too, and a few other cable networks. When you hit that level of trolling, when you hit that level and you're an independent band, like there's got to be some cash behind it, and there's got to be some sort of end game. And if there isn't an end game, this is the most lunatic fucking thing that ever happened that somehow just got spread virally, and we all need to learn how to use that for the forces of good instead of the dummy forces of evil, rather.
Yeah, like this is either the next level, like Forrest Gump, or some real shit. I kind of want it to be next level Forrest Gump.
I sort of do too, but at the same time, it's like you got to think to yourself, like, holy shit, the rest of us are so fucking stupid we didn't come up with something like this. You know what I mean? Like, the sheer, like, he put so much time and effort into it, if true, like fake management, fake PR, fake artist you know, and he did so much work that it's just like, shit, like, that's dedication.
Yeah, that is real.
That's like psychotic. That's like he's gonna fucking kill you in your sleep type level nutcase, right? Or he's a genius that went bad. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a fascinating story, and like, because I could also, here's just another theory, I could totally see this being like an industry person, like working to launch. I could totally see this being like an industry person launching their new management company.
It could be. The other thing that briefly floated through my mind before realizing how much money was spent was that it was some sort of. I thought it might have been set up by a promotional company trying to do something for the opening bands, and that they were trying to get them a huge level of attention. But I don't think that anymore, just because of the fact that none of them seem to be connected to the same manager, as far as I can tell, because I did check that.
Yeah,
that was one of my first guesses. It was a stunt by someone trying to get their management company off the ground, and they were working with the same opening bands. But I don't think that's true anymore. Maybe it is, but hey,
it seems less than likely.
Yep, it does. But hey, I can be wrong. I don't know. But
No,
either way,
I'm definitely like that would be. I think that would be a very brilliant way, and then you already have this like manufactured band.
Well, the other thing too to keep in mind, just if this doesn't, like, here's another thing to keep in mind, because people keep saying, "What's the end game?" There's a few end games that I can see, even if it, like, here's what I see is that you can sell the Facebook likes that he now has. Like, to my understanding, you can actually sell the social media pages to other brands, and they all of a sudden got themselves all these followers. Is that not true, or am I mistaken?
Yeah, it's less than legitimate, but it's true.
You could, and so you could do that, and then there's also the YouTube streaming money. He could probably sell the subscribers to his YouTube channel. Now, I don't know how many subscribers he's got, but I know his Twitter following is pretty good now. His Instagram went through the roof. I think it was like an 18K or something like that. So there's a lot
18K isn't enough followers to really sell for money.
But still, over a period of 5 days, it's pretty damn good.
Oh, absolutely.
So, or whatever day it was. So, I mean, let's just see how many Twitter followers he's got now. Oh, he doesn't have very many Twitter followers. So, okay, maybe I'm wrong on that, but that was a couple other things I was thinking, is that building up that audience for someone else selling the page or something like that could be part of it too, right?
Yeah, the dedication to the metrics doesn't seem to be there.
Yeah, you're right. I'm backpedaling that, but it could be the case.
But I could see that. I could see how that would be a possibility.
Yeah, but how many Facebook fans has he got? Let's find out now. What's he called? Threatin? THR.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Facebook was taken down. Point being, yeah. So
it is taken down. You're right.
I'm very curious to see what this announcement is today when you guys hear this.
Tomorrow. Oh yeah, today. That's right.
Today, yes. We're like fucking Bob and Doug McKenzie over here, eh?
We are. Hey. Hey. The Threatin page is back up, by the way. Eh?
Okay, how many likes is that, Hoser?
I'm just clicking on it, checking right now. I'm going to add my own like to it right now. It now, after I hit like, has 38,448 people liking it, and 38,397 people following it. Not bad for a band no one's heard of up until last week.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
Yeah.
And,
So
I'm just seeing if there's any announcements made on it today. All it says is just Jared threatened to make the fake official statement tomorrow. Also tags here BBC News, NME, Alternative Press, MetalSucks.net, and Metal Injection.
yeah. So I'm very curious about this. My only thought about why this might not be a movie,
Yeah,
is that imagine if it was a movie, it would have more big outlets attached. But maybe not. What do I know?
I don't know, bud, because there's a lot of big outlets attached here.
Yep.
There's let's just do a quick Google search of the name Threatin in news in the last week. Like, I mean, you got like the AV Club, you got Pitchfork. What kind of outlets are you talking about here?
I'm talking like CBS, ABC, like big budget.
Maybe he's on there. Let's find out. Threatin, CBS. Let's see what happens. No, he's not. Yeah, nope, that's not him. Threatin ABC. Let's see. Nope, but he's in. I mean, BBC, like what? One of the biggest cable news in North America, not just in the UK.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they have a huge budget. Like the Guardian picked it up. Alternative Press. What else? I mean, all the big UK presses covering it. So, you know, maybe they wanted to mainly get it promoted in Europe, and then Stereo Gum, AV Club, Alternative Press, Louder Sound. Yeah, we've got Virtual, like Consequences Sound, Stuff even has it. And it's worldwide too. New Zealand places are covering it. Metro UK's now got it. So, I mean, it's basically all the major UK press is covering it. So, I mean, my theory, if it's a movie or something like that, they basically got the lockdown on UK, which is basically, you know what, the second biggest developed country in the world next to the United States?
No, but
or third, whatever. One of the biggest.
It's a bigger one, yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential. Yeah. I'm very
English-speaking countries, it is.
Yeah, I'm very curious at this point. Yeah, I don't know. I am a little bit envious that I'm not at a level of like Metal Illuminati to know and just be like gloating over here.
Yeah.
You know, but
whichever way you want to look at it, the big lesson you can take out of this from a marketing perspective is, if you put in a lot of preparation, you can get the press. Whether it, like any press is going to be good press, because this guy is making money right now. I can tell you that, or whoever backed him is making money, because there's going to be money in the Spotify plays, and there's going to be money in the YouTube plays, and just for future type things. Like, this is good advertising. So if he puts out a book, it's going to fucking sell. If he puts out a movie, it's going to sell. If he's trying to get onto a reality TV show, he's going to get it. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
As long as he uses it in the right way, unless he's a complete lunatic, like I said. But your lesson you can learn is, you can any type of publicity. Oh, even the two musicians can use this to their advantage too, if they're smart. Because both those guys in Las Vegas, I mean, they could even put on a show now, calling themselves, I don't know, Threatin or something. I don't know, but they could do something with it. Is all I'm saying, right?
Yeah, like there's definitely some weirdness. There's also like a weird like jealousy I think some people have that like he got to go to Europe on the back of his scam.
Yeah,
because like that's sort of one of the things is like, there's a lot of fucking con artists who say they can send you to Europe, guys.
Yeah.
And
Matt Bacon is not one of them.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Well, the other thing too that I thought was kind of funny, just before we end off here, is in the Metal Sucks article, the guitarist mentioned that, I think it was in the Metal Sucks, maybe it was in the Classic Rock one, but one of them mentioned that the original plan was to go to do a Canada-US tour, which makes me think that they thought it would be easier to get more media in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's another thing that kind of caught my eye. I was like, well, if they originally were planning to do Canada and the USA, why wouldn't they? Like, you know what I mean? The cost would have been a lot less. Would have been easier to recoup the funds. So to me, it's like a loss. This is just like an ad campaign for something. But we'll find out later. A lot of people are calling me an idiot. Maybe I am an idiot. on Twitter. A lot of people call it saying that Curtis doesn't know what he's talking about. Could be the case in this instance. We'll find out tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. What do you have to plug?
Oh, man. That's a good question, since all I've been talking about is Threatin for the last couple hours or whatever. You know what, Matt? I'm just going to talk about my special right now, which is I have a 2-month special going on for 2 months of PR at 15% off if you listen to the podcast. If you don't listen to the podcast, I'm going to do it for 10%. So you'll be seeing an ad saying 10% off. That's only good till November 30th. And hit me up if you're interested. It's not for 3 months. It's not for 1 month, just for 2 months. 15% off if you listen to the podcast. If you don't listen to the podcast, 10% off.
Yep.
That's it.
Simultaneously, my offer for podcast listeners is $25 off. If you $25 off your bio if you hit me up through this channel and basically say, hey, look, I listened to the podcast.
How much do you charge, Matt?
So for podcast listeners, it'll be $50. That's not a lot of money.
And if you need to find out, get some references on him, just go look at the site Metal Injection and put in the name Matt Bacon. You can see all of his awesome writing, and also just ask like half of my clients who have used them.
Yeah. I think there's not a lot of money in metal bio writing, but it's a nice little side income, and I like to help you guys out. And also, just for the record, I will do like updates over time within reason. So like if you have a new record out or something, like I'm perfectly willing to, for free, update your bio, change, like if you have a member change or whatever, like we can work it out. Like I'm not trying to just one and done. If you need a little bit of fixing down the line, then
you can get Bio 2.0 from Matt, and you get constant updates. But not like Windows where they force the update on you just when you ask Matt.
Yeah, no, like I definitely see that. I've had a couple clients. I've been doing this for long enough now that I'll have a client who like I did their bio 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're like, hey, we have a new record out. And it's in most cases not a dramatic change.
Yeah.
So
Matt doesn't want to take your money if it's going to be like change 2 things.
Yeah, exactly. But I totally appreciate that, because I had to do this the other day. Like it does feel kind of wanky to write your own bio.
Yep.
I'm definitely not a fan. Anyway, cool. Well, thank you guys for listening. This has been Dumb and Dumbest.
Are we done yet?
God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
God damn it, it's not ending. No, shit.